or any wing. I'm going to chat about what we know about the job, Fausto, and then maybe I'll make it real fast.
Okay.
One of the things that Ed helped us with so much was, and I'm going to talk a little bit of numbers and dollars just because sometimes that's the reality of this work. When we first tried to make all of these special airplane shapes or wings here, when we first penciled this out, making a wing out of a piece of aluminum that's 3/8 thick, it came out to $300,000 for the wings only. It was a lot of money in our humble estimation. Each wing has 6 pieces. One piece, one piece, one piece, one piece, one piece, and the centerpiece. So Ed's solution that Fausto knows about is that you have almost like 12, 11 pieces between the two wings that came together, and that's where this dovetail came together. So you can't see. You can find them, but hands and knees is kind of a good thing. If you get on your hands and knees, you have to find them, rather than standing up and looking down like we are. Even in better light, what you're finding is that that's a pretty good put it together. That came down to nearly $90,000. $90,000 is a lot of money, but it's sure shy, and we just sent that right on through to the city of Phoenix. The best part of Fausto's project was we have seldom done such a simple system in that every one of the colors, with the exception of the black, uses the same aggregate, which is recycled glass. So we had all our epoxy stacked up in the different colors, and I wasn't skeptical, but at the same time, it was so simple, I was a little concerned. Would it stand up next to some of these other fabulous patterns and multicolors and lots of aggregate? And the answer is, many people tell me this is one of their favorite floors.
Thank you.
It's because of social labor. Fausto, you knocked it out of the ballpark, sir.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Well, it's the truth.
You know,
Fausto was willing to try anything. We worked with him, tried to put stuff together, and immediately he started understanding how our product works, adjusted a little bit of his scales, and made everything start fitting into this 1,200 square feet. One of the challenges for a lot of people is to take something that's a great design on paper and then put it into 1,200 square feet. And Fausto did a fabulous job of making this pattern and making these overlays work, and the colors are way beyond my understanding of how well they came out and how well they were going to do. Fausto, my hat's off to you. You did a fabulous job.
Thank you, Bruce. I don't know how I would have done this without you, too. I mean, you were really helpful. Can you hear me?
I'm going to ask one more question.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. Do you have something to add?
I just wanted to say to Bruce that I just wanted to tell Bruce that thank you so much, because I had a concept, but I didn't know how to create the concept on the floor without their help. So just kind of hiring Marzee and them, and I mean, it's hard for me to comprehend how to make such a perfect job, you know?
It was fun with you, Fausto, and I know Ed feels the same way. It just came together so nicely, and every terrazzo job has its challenges, but yours was seamless. It really came together nicely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fausto. I'm going to ask one more question of Bruce, and that is, you have layers and layers of colors sort of sweeping in and sweeping out. How do these colors go down? When we do terrazzo, we have to go ahead and put down one color at a time without touching another color. We can grind everything once it's all poured, but if we put down this mauve color right here, we cannot put down the green until this has had overnight cure. So part of our challenge is, when you look at a job and you're trying to do some production, is how many colors can you put in one day, and we don't have the whole thing. We get one section at a time because other trades are working. So in that section, how many can you put down, and then what does that mean the next day? How many colors can you put down? Well, I mean, it's an easy concept, but you need to think a little on what you're doing. The other thing is, we always have to put the terrazzo mixture of epoxy and in this case, the glass cloud above the strip. So when we grind it, it all comes flat. That's an easy concept. But as you're doing that, you can't get the mauve into the green, or when you look down at it, you'll be very critical. You'll see a line or mauve color in the green, and that's not acceptable. So everything has to be cleaned back. And so, therefore, more colors like 10 colors become a little more challenging and require good housekeeping by Jose and Sam and Sebastian. They became very good at taping and really controlling the colors inside each area. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you start doing all these square footages with all this design, you can find it to be very challenging not to get sloppy, not to just take it for granted. And Fausto is right there helping us, because even though it looks like, oh, it's just a straight pattern, it goes right down. If you start to tilt even a fraction of a degree, you'll run all these things off to the side. We constantly had to check ourselves to make sure that we were in line, on line, the product was where it needed to be, and each one of these scoops was proper. And then Fausto would come out, not on a daily basis, but he would always come out, and with his eyes, he'd look at everything. We'd make adjustments, like I mentioned on the other floor, and then we can pour it. We can't pour it until we have the acceptance of do we have it right. And it takes a lot of talent to see that. But we love these colors, and we think this is really a great one. Any questions or other thoughts from the team?
Holding the metal down before you pour?
Epoxy.
Epoxy. You're epoxying the metal to the whatever's underneath.
What you don't see on some of the strips is on occasion there can be a little piece sticking out from the side, and we'll epoxy that. But we will take a squeeze tube and we will squeeze the epoxy off. First it's just a glue gun to put it in place. Then we take the epoxy and we squeeze it not quite halfway up, all along the edges, and then the whole epoxy border itself. Very seldom we have a strip pop up. Any other questions? Ed, anything to add on the metal side of things? We didn't cover the whole course for metal, but you can. There is a pattern. It was like 9 pieces. Yes. The 9 piece pattern, they'll just flap over, start. And when they got too tired, they would make some more for us, and we just keep going with it. So it's a very continuous thing. It was a very repetitive fight. Once we got behind that bullet of almost, $300,000 and got it down to expensive, but not crazy, then we had something to work with financially and make this whole process work. But kudos to Ed, he's the one that figured that out. Fausto, anything to add before we head on to the next station?
I'm really proud of this floor. It's my first public art project, and I think it's going to be the best one in a long time. So I really appreciate the opportunity.
Well, thank you, Fausto. Thank you.
Thank you.